still fully submerged. So you'd be standing on the bottom, stick your hand straight up, and you're still completely underwater. That's how deep we're going.
How often does that happen?
Well, I'm about 6 feet, and I put my hand straight up. You're taller than I am, I think.
Welcome to Polymuse. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ben.
I'm Michael.
We're going to take you on a deep dive. 8 feet deep.
8 feet.
That's how much you need to dive. Any more than that, any less than that, you'll crack your head on the bottom of the pool.
That's right.
You don't want that.
Or you'll be lost in the pool, one or the other.
Lost in the pond.
That is a different song. Today, we're killing it.
Yes. We're killing it, rock and roll. I hope not. I hope no animals were harmed in the making of this podcast. We'll say
Neither
that
were
right
we.
off the bat. Well, we don't know that yet.
That's true.
I
Haven't
guess.
made it through.
And,
Yeah. We're making our way through System of a Down, as you know, and we're continuing on with Hypnotize, a great album. Kill Rock and Roll is on the docket today. A song with a little bit of writing, a lot of bit of rocking.
a little bit.
A little
Only
bit.
a little bit, though.
Yes,
And
like a
that's
little
my
bit.
problem with it.
Yeah, that's my problem too. I sang a
It's
little bit.
extraordinarily repetitive.
It was not tongue in cheek. It's quite literally
Very
a
repetitive.
little bit of writing.
Yeah, nice. Nice on the sneak disc.
That's all right. We talk a lot of tongue in cheek. This time my tongue was out. Like, this is that's great.
Like outside the box.
Mhm.
This song's funny, but it's not like as funny as like Johnny or Bounce or something.
No.
And it wears off. Like you think it rocks a little bit. Like you said, it rocks a little bit.
A little bit rocking, a little bit more rolling. So I felt like the biggest asshole.
Like
Felt like
Henry
the biggest
Rollins.
asshole. When I killed
Yeah.
your rock and roll, mow down the sexy people. Every time I look in your eyes, every day I'm watching
That
you
part's
die.
cool. That's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
But the other part gets so annoying that I felt part. It's about him killing a rabbit on mistake, right?
Yes.
He like backed over someone's pet on accident.
Yes.
Aw.
Or wild. Not sure. Domestic. International. Not sure.
Foreign or
Not
domestic.
sure about the origins
It was either
of the
foreign.
rabbit. Maybe magician's rabbit on the loose.
Mhm. Dead dove, do not eat.
Mm-hmm. Not sure about the origin, but yes, accidentally mowed over an
And he
animal.
felt bad. And then he repeats himself 100 times on a song about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. As a kid, I liked this song a lot. But I got old, dude. The old meme got old quick, I think.
Well, yes. I think this is still in our System of a Down pocket, right? We're not doing anything too far out of the norm here.
We're right in their pocket.
Right in their pocket.
I love it. It's a good song. It's just repetitive.
It's just not one of the better tracks.
How many times have I repeated myself?
Just trying to hypnotize, saying
Mhm.
over and over.
There you go.
All right, well, let's roll it, and then we'll crush it.
It grooves. It rolls. You were right about that. The bridge is rolling. It doesn't have quite... I love the ones where it's so drastically different between the chorus and the verse. You got the both vocalists. It's we've said it. It's repetitive. It's good. It rocks. I give it a B-. B- song. It was extremely entertaining like when it came out, and I think it hit me as a teenager. It was fine and perfect. And then you just kind of get used to the shock of it or the joke of the lyrics. Still rocks a little bit. So that's a B-. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Good album track.
I gave it a solid B. This was a promotional single along with Vicinity of Obscenity, by the way. The album release art that went along with it, I don't know if it was on a physical package at any point, but it looks kind of cool as well. Just as like a kind of skull face that's kind of getting pulled up over the eye sockets, kind of getting manipulated, and then that's repetitive as well. It's just a whole bunch of the skull repeated all over the album cover. But it's kind of creepy looking, but kind of cool.
All the singles, all the associated like album covers and stuff are super cool. Lonely Day has an album cover. They're all like, they fit kind of with the Mesmerize and Hypnotize faces.
And touching on the original, like the full album covers, again, those were created and designed by Vartan Malikin, the original pieces there. Darren's father put those together. He's a sculptor, he's a painter, he's an artist here. So he did the original artworks for both the albums, both the double albums. So it's nice to have those pieces there. So the skull face from the single is actually on the pendulum that's swaying back and forth on the full album cover art. And we have the kind of fractured clock on there as well, kind of like Spiel's on almost like a fan. And then we have the blue pale face up top on the contrasted background of black and different shades of maroon and red as well. It's kind of a cool, creepy looking piece, all things considered.
Very cool.
Very creepy.
Creepy deepy.
Yep. So the two dual discs do go to the album covers together, look kind of cool. And I think they'd be cool pieces to have mounted on your wall as well. Maybe not right in your bedroom per se. I don't know if you want those faces looking over you while you sleep.
Yeah, they're watching out. They're chilling. They're making sure everything's okay. Speaking of rock and roll being murdered, let's talk about other music this year, because this is probably like the only good rock album maybe that came out this year. I mean, maybe not, but pop music and hip-hop had completely dominated by this point. The early 2000s, rock had really fallen out of the mainstream. And we've got, I mean, a lot of really, really classic albums and stuff I love and stuff that I kind of grew up through my 20s with, but maybe rock and roll died. Maybe he's talking about, actually, this is the last. He killed rock and roll. It's done now, and the rest of this album is not rock and roll, and the rest of then when it's dead, only pop albums or hip hop or indie albums after this.
Yeah, so let me tackle some of the number one albums here, the albums that hit number one in 2005. We did have American Idiot by Green Day.
Well, okay, so we're holding on. That's rock. They are going to be the last gasp. They have a rock and roll connection back to the Ramones, and the Ramones was the connection back to like the original rockers from the 50s, the real rock and roll. So that is the through line right there. So between Green Day and then, but Darren killed it. Yeah. He shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah,
and that was the last really good Green Day album too. So
yeah, System of a Down, Hypnotize did, of course. There were a couple others. Disturbed's 10,000 Fists did, and Coldplay's X and Y did as well.
Yeah, but, you know,
Audio Slave Out of Exile,
okay.
9 Inch Nails with Teeth, and Three Doors Down, 17 Days.
Yeah.
But you would consider that more on the
I wouldn't
pop
do
side.
that.
You would not consider that in the same vein at all. But you also had Hillary Duff. Most Wanted album held a number one spot one week.
Let me guess. You had that one from the library.
No.
Come on.
I knew.
You don't know this one?
I don't know this. This is actually one of the few that I don't know.
Oh, what do you got? You were like still, I mean, and you still today. Like, you're the kind of guy who follow the current music, whatever is like happening in your life and that's cool. It's like, what was what do we got? What were you jamming? What was the actual?
I was jamming Stained. I still have a Stained email address.
And that's rock.
Yeah.
But did they do too much more after 2005?
No.
Was that kind of a cutoff
they
for
did
them?
Not. That was a
maybe
cutoff
rock and roll died.
bit.
R.I.P. 1950 something to 2005.
Yeah. Frontman Aaron Lewis. He still tours mostly by himself.
Doesn't he do like country now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yep. So it's certainly a different change.
Okay. What else do we got? 05.
05.
Let's talk about what was really banging at the time, though. I mean,
so we had 50 Cent's second album, The Massacre, and Kanye West's second album, Late Registration, both dropping in 2005, which were huge for me because I was still experimenting with all different kinds of music. I was listening to country, I was listening to System of a Down and Linkin Park and just all kinds of stuff. And I was also making a big detour into hip hop as well. And it's a big deal because these guys are both early in their career. 50 Cent is off, journeyed into other business ventures. And Kanye West was still very much in a pocket at this time. College Dropout, Late Registration, and a couple other albums after this before he started heading a number of different directions and becoming a much more bigger on a media scale and who he was involved with and his different happenings in his life, but was still very much a music person at this point and a producer who had turned into a music person and making music. So that was a big deal. But those were two major albums that year. Rap was still pushing in to be a more mainstream thing. Still one of the biggest, it's that and Latin music, I believe, are the two biggest. If you're going specifically by the very, very broad genres, I think hip hop and Latin music are the two biggest in the world right now. And these were two of the more modern pioneers to kind of push it. Much to your point, it's because rock was kind of, in a general sense, was disappearing. But we did have 50 Cent there, Kanye West, Three Doors Down had an album along with Hillary Duff. I'm not sure what that tells us for sure, other than Hillary Duff was big at the time.
Hillary Buff.
Madonna still had an album, Confessions on a Dance Floor. Our guy Eminem.
Yes.
Now his number one was Curtain Call The Hits, but he also released Curtain Calls that year. Just didn't have a number one spot on this particular list. Encore. Encore, and he also released his greatest hits that year.
Dude, Encore is the greatest thing. I still think about Encore every day of my life and laugh for different reasons, different jokes, different. Encore is it. That gotta be the best album of '05 easily. And it didn't win. I know that's that's his only time he lost album of the year, and he lost to Kanye. Pretty sure he always got hip hop album of the year.
Yeah, he started to lose out in categories starting right around that time. But
I think he got it though before and after that. I'm pretty sure Encore's the only one.
Yeah, but it was starting in the late 2000s that when Kanye started to get bigger and some other bigger acts started to come out, that he wasn't just racking up awards as he did in the earlier 2000s when his first few albums started to pop off there. Eminem, The Curtain Call, the greatest hits is Diamond as of March of 2022.
Nice.
This year.
And then he released the second greatest hits now. Dude, that's awesome. So he has 3 diamonds now, I think.
Yeah.
More than any other hip hop artist by far. There's there's probably, I know the double Biggie album and the double Outkast album are diamonds and maybe a few more, but I don't think anyone has more than one. And I think it has at least 3 now.
Yeah, certainly been around long enough and had a sustained impact for long enough to be able to do that. Of course, Biggie and Tupac not living past 25 certainly halted that, and we're seeing a lot of re-releases of their discographies. But yeah, so that was a big section in 2005. I think was prime time for starting to see a shift is in the 2000s there.
It's Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen, Devils and Dust, and Dave Matthews Band, Stand Up.
Great.
And releases, and Ray Charles.
You love the Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, well, Ray Charles, Genius Loves Company. He did get a #1 spot in February as well of that year. So still hanging in, our guy Ray.
Was it new or was it old? Who knows?
Let's see.
Plain White Tees is putting out music that year.
Yep.
What do you like about them? You like them?
They're okay.
Ooh, the Jimmy Chamberlain Complex. That's cool. Spin-off of the Smashing Pumpkins. That's actually a good album.
Yeah.
Academy Is. Remember that, guys? Those people?
Academy Is.
Do you like that?
I don't
No.
remember that.
You don't remember that? 50 Cent, The Massacre. Do you remember that?
Yeah, man. The slip. It had like so it was a slip cover, but it was clear on the front, so you could still see the actual album cover through the slip cover. But it's still cool. I still got it.
Dude.
Pretty slick.
Yeah. We got Daft Punk, Human After All, the worst Daft Punk album. I like the title track, but the rest of it's pretty repetitive. It's not as good as Discovery. And here's controversial opinion of the evening. I like Homework the best, the first Daft Punk album, even better than Discovery.
Okay.
Human After All is pretty good though. It is repetitive, but it's good. Who else we got? We got the Hold Steady. They're cool. Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, the boys.
Yeah, right.
Hot dog flavored water. For no other reason, they'll be remembered for that.
The hot dog
forever.
band.
The old hot dog.
Okay, Weezer did Make Believe. That puts it into context for me. That's where a lot of people think they jumped the shark, but every Weezer fan thinks they jumped the shark with every album they do. So, Billy Corgan's solo album came out that same year. That makes a lot of sense.
It helps further contextualize it for you.
Yeah, a little bit. It puts it into context of what I was going through when I was thinking about what I was thinking about.
Okay.
Oh, Municipal Waste? The Hazardous Mutation album came out? That's a good one.
Yeah.
All of this is better than Hypnotize? Oh, dude, the first Wolfmother album. That's a lot better than Hypnotize, and that rocks. There we go. We saved rock and roll.
All right.
Wolfmother's phenomenal. They've done quite a few albums since then, actually, even though they've said that they broke up after that, including an album called Rock and Roll Baby and an album called Rock Out. So Rock and Roll didn't die. It just turned into Wolfmother. All of them are good. They are like top tier band as well. So that first Wolfmother coming out in 2005, I will never forget that. That's better than Hypnotize. They saved rock and roll. Thanks for trying to kill it, Darren. But Wolfmother came out the same year, and now it's not dead.
Not dead. Still alive. Still hanging on into the 2000s there. 2010s.
What else were you getting from the library? The Carter 2 came out this year. That's the
Carter 2.
Dude, my all-time favorite Lil Wayne album is Carter 2. I love every single song on it. I love the chopped and screwed version of the album.
Oh, the chopped and screweds are wonderful.
I have probably listened to Carter 2. There's albums where I just like get stuck on them for years at a time, where that's like the only album I listen to.
Yeah.
And that has been Carter 2 more than once. where it's like just again, and then I'll switch to the chopped and screwed, and then I'll switch back to the regular. There are so many jokes. If you look and read the lyrics of Carter 2, it's like
just all kinds of crazy stuff thrown in. He's just working off the dome. Yeah, that was a massive album for me as well. I had touched on Lil Wayne earlier in my listening career, but this is where I started to go back and listen, and then listen to everything forward. I think I've seen him in concert 3 times now.
Did you see him in 2005?
I saw him in 2007 or 8. The Carter 3 had come out. Carter 3 or 4? Whatever Lollipop is on. 'Cause Lollipop had just dropped as a single not even a week before. So when he came and performed it, it was a big, big deal. The song had just come out. You just listened to it. Everyone knew the words. It was the hot song. So it was his first time performing it live, I believe.
That's epic.
Yep. So that was a big, big deal.
Yeah, that was Carter 3.
Massive. And it's just funny to see that this was almost an 80-minute project when System of a Down is 80 minutes. Yeah, between the 2 albums.
Yeah, I mean, Carter 2, that it would be like 2 full LPs. Like,
right.
It would be 2 stacked. It'd be like Mesmerize and Hypnotize put together.
Yeah.
There's so much good music on there.
Yeah. Fireman is just such a massive, massive song from this. Yeah, several other tracks as well, but Fireman was one of the massive tracks for a very, very long time. And Chopped and Screwed was just becoming more mainstream as well, with guys like Paul Wall, who I believe released an album this year, Slim Thug, and other guys who are starting to bring that to more of the forefront, the Chopped and Screwed type of music from the southern region there.
White Stripes did Walking with a Ghost. That's a good album. It's not their best.
The Stripes.
Lindsay Lohan album, your favorite singer? Does she sing or rap?
I think she sings.
Or beatbox.
Yeah. God, they were just handing out contract, or handing out
it's her second
CD
album.
money, huh? Oh my God.
No. She only did 2.
No.
But she is topless on the album cover.
Okay.
Maybe we should do her next. Review the 2 Lindsay Lohans.
Oh my God.
There's only 2.
Okay. Well, we could certainly try to scrounge up.
Can you name a Lindsay Lohan song?
Oh, wait a minute.
Can you name any of her songs?
Oh, I totally listened to one of these albums. Or both. No, definitely not both. I totally did.
Did you see her in concert?
No.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure.
If I put a gun to your head, could you name a Lindsay Lohan song?
No. Black Hole.
No way. You Googled it.
Yeah, I totally Googled it. 98% liked this album. 98% of Google users. Oh, I might have to go listen to this now.
Dude, it must be good.
Dude, all the ratings are good. 4.6, 4.3, 5.
Maybe she's good.
This is unreal.
This changes everything about the System of a Down podcast. Our life has been changed again.
This time by Lindsay.
We must review all the artists who've changed our lives.
Yeah, I guess Lindsay.
You didn't expect that. You're going to go home and listen to that.
The album even looks cool. It's like red with black splatter.
How did we miss this?
I don't know. I totally listened to one of these albums. I think it was her first one. It's 04 and 05 were the releases. I totally did, just to listen. I totally was just grabbing everything, listening to everything just to see.
It's the way to do it, though.
Yeah, I listened to the first one. I might have a copy burned still somewhere. I might technically own it. A copy of the CD.
I'd be surprised if you didn't.
Yeah.
This sounds like one you would have
made
made sure you
check out
like backup copy of that. Make one for each vehicle, one for the house, one for the road.
Oh my gosh!
In case you need a couple more.
Yeah, I totally have the first one somewhere.
That's like a golden spot year of music. That's like a perfect platinum.
Well, so do we have the all 2000s blonde white girl former Disney person mixtape?
Deathmatch.
Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff.
Can we make one good album out of
Paris Hilton?
All this garbage?
Yeah, maybe.
That's a topic for another podcast, my friend.
Thanks for tuning in.
Have we killed rock and roll yet? We wanted to just do a slow drip death of what came afterwards, and we got all the way to the Lindsay Lohan album, so... Yeah. That was the death coffin. Wolfmother came as like a little nymph, kind of one last gasp. But the final nail in the coffin after Darren backed over that rabbit.
We'll see if we can hypnotize
Your
you.
burned Lindsay Lohan album. You killed it.
I would never burn it. We'll see if we can hypnotize you and convince you otherwise next time.
We love you guys. We'll see you soon.